Cheers,
All right.
Ryan will bring the chair in.
Very good.
Thank you, Ryan.
Swim with the sharks.
Yep.
So that's what I was trying to get at with Brad on Power Lunch today, and that is, why hasn't XRP done better? They've been signing up all these contracts. All these financial institutions are getting on board using the Ripple ledger, and yet the currency itself is not reflecting any gain in value. So can you actually, the old saying, I'm a believer in the blockchain but not in the cryptocurrency, maybe it looks like that's true.
Well,
in the case of Ripple.
So the knock on Ripple is that you can use the Ripple, or I should say the knock on Ripple, if you're a currency investor, is that you can use the ledger without the currency. And that's why that currency has to have a utility. Ultimately, the purist in cryptocurrency will say something like the Ripple ledger actually really isn't decentralized if it's only being used by the banks. Adding that currency in makes it decentralized, and the purist in cryptocurrency would say you have to have the two to going together.
How is this not decentralized if it's only, I mean, if they sign up, is it only because it's being used within a company?
It's only being used within 70 banks or 100 banks or something like that, and they're all just verifying their transactions. So ultimately, it's really just a big database. The power, to me, where cryptocurrency comes in is using that token, because then you can really decentralize the software.
Are we really waiting for Ripple to be listed on a Coinbase for the next big move? It's the regulation that is really sort of gumming up the works when it comes to Ripple and some of the other coins out there right now.
To that matter, even the ICO space, right? So we've had this regulatory uncertainty. I mean, I think the SEC is taking a very thoughtful approach, but there's still uncertainty out there. And so a lot of ICOs have gone offshore. You don't see a lot of new listings, at least on Coinbase, until there's some clarity around that. Hopefully we'll get that by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change it, but anyways, the thing that kind of bothers me is they, at least this time, the mainstream media did give a counter argument, which I got to give them credit for that, because the other segment that we covered was just really, really biased for Ripple. But I do agree with some of their talking points. They don't bring up my concern for Ripple, and that's, most of the tokens are controlled by the owners of Ripple, or the people that started it, and they're not in circulation, and obviously they're going to eventually enter circulation, and it's going to obviously devalue the currency if there's a lot more being introduced. But let me know your thoughts. I did mention in the previous video, which I'm going to stand by, it's not a good idea to not own a top 10 coin. I think if you have a good amount of money, you should own all the top 10 coins, and that means Tron. I own Tron, guys, so I'm not putting like a large part of my portfolio, but I just would be, I think it's a bad idea, and especially it's hard to, at least for now with uncertain regulations, to really put your eggs in one basket. I mean, things can change really quick, and diversification allows you to jump off of bandwagons and jump onto bandwagons. But let me know your thoughts on this, and I will talk to you guys soon.